it's not just England where the lockdown is being relaxed. Singapore is also planning to let some businesses reopen as well.
Let's speak to our Asia business correspondent, Karishma Vashvani, who is there. Thank you very much for being on the programme with us today. So give us an idea of what is the plan in Singapore?
Well, Singapore is slowly beginning to relax some of the restrictions that were put in place on April the 7th. They don't call it a lockdown here. The government calls it a circuit breaker. But, by any other name, it is effectively a partial lockdown. What we're seeing today is a small cluster of businesses being allowed to open. These are things like hairdressers for a simple haircut, no longer than an hour, for instance. You can go to the pet store now and even to the bakery to buy some desserts and cakes. But all of this is being extremely carefully controlled and managed. And the Singapore government has been relying on technology to ensure that the people who do go into these shops, go into the offices, they have to virtually check in and check out using an app called Safe Entry. And that's because the government wants to keep tabs on people in case there's a new cluster of infections. In fact, technology has become so much a part of the response here in Singapore that if you go to one of the parks here, for instance, you might bump into this robot dog. I think you can see pictures of him on your screen right now. He's being trialed in some Singapore parks to encourage people to maintain their social distance from one another. So certainly a vision of the future from Singapore where some people have liked it and others not so much.
It's incredible pictures. Karishma, thank you very much for that. We'll speak to you a bit later on. That's an update on a robot dog live from Singapore.
Hang on for this, because before we go, as Singapore prepares to ease lockdown restrictions on businesses, parks there have recruited a new helper to remind visitors to maintain their social distance in the form of a cyber dog.
For your own safety and for those around you, please stand at least 1 meter apart. Thank you.
The robot, made by US-based Boston Dynamics, has been programmed to bark social distancing instructions at visitors with the help of a camera monitor to monitor exactly how busy the footpaths really are. Terrifying. Have you been barked at by a cyber dog in Singapore? Let me know. I'm on Twitter @JamesBBC News.